top stories tonight in Y News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. assures that the Philippines will be a reliable foreign trade partner as he rallied for support for the implementation of the newly approved Philippine Export Development Plan. The Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System requests to retain water allocation for Metro Manila as the National Water Resources Board plans to apply a reduction effective tomorrow. And the first batches of Russia's tactical nuclear weapons claimed to be 3 times more powerful than those used in Japan during World War II successfully arrives in Belarus. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Thursday, the 15th of June, 2023. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am William Theo. First in the news. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. told the Philippines' foreign trade partners that the Philippines will be a reliable partner and will be ready to deliver as he rallied for support for the implementation of the newly approved Philippine Export Development Plan. Nel Maribuhok reports.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said that the country's economic managers are thoroughly studying the best practices of other nations that have been successful in their free trade agreements for their exports. The president said learning from the successes of other countries will also be key to staying competitive in the global export and trade.
Kaya pinag-aaralan natin lagi kung ano yung mga ginagawa ng mga ibang bansa na successful sa kanilang trade agreement, sa kanilang mga export. At ang pinakamagaling sa ngayon ay nandito sa Asia. Yan ang kakompetensya natin. That is why we have to bring up our game, export game a little bit, and support our exporters so that they can compete in foreign markets.
The chief executive cited that the Philippines will be soon signing a free trade agreement with the Korean government and is now working on signing FTAs with the European Union and the United States. During his speech at the International Trade Forum, President Marcos calls on the private sector to continue invest in export industry.
I once again call on the private sector and the entire export community to continue to invest their faith and energies and resources in the industry. We also send the message of goodwill to our foreign trade partners and the international community. The Philippines will ever be a reliable partner.
PBBM also highlighted the importance of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership or RCEP agreement, which came into force this month, noting that the Free Trade Pact is another significant milestone in the nation's export agenda. Nel Maribuhok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The Bureau of Immigration will add more counters at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. Dante Amento tells us why.
To reduce the traffic congestion of passengers at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport or NAIA, Bureau of Immigration Commissioner Norman Tancinco said they will add mobile counters, particularly at Terminals 1 and 3.
Right now, MIA is constructing 3 additional counters at the departure area, which we hope to be operational before the weekend rush of passengers. On Friday, we will also deploy, as part of our innovation, the mobile counters, at least 4 in the arrival, 4 in the departure, in Terminal 1 and Terminal 3.
Tancinco explained the intensified screening against human trafficking added to the traffic congestion.
We are given only, an IO is given only 45 seconds to decide. whether to clear or defer the departure of a passenger. Given the mandate, our additional mandate by the IACAT to screen likely or possible victims of human trafficking, the job of my IO becomes harder.
The additional counters would help to expedite the screening of passengers to avoid offloading. The authorities meanwhile ask for understanding and cooperation from the passengers. The strict screening of passengers is to avoid some Filipinos become victims of trafficking in person.
Unawain na lang nila na sa kultura natin, talagang iniingatan natin yung mga taong maaring ma-traffic sa ibang bansa at maging modern day slaves. Kasi slavery yan nakakaawa naman yung mga Pilipino na mabibiktima. Yan nasa kamay ng immigration kaya wala tayong magagawa. Ang advisory ngayon, mas maagad dumating sa airport.
Dante Amento, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
A magnitude 6.3 earthquake struck Batangas earlier today. It was also felt in nearby provinces, including Metro Manila. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
People in government agencies in Metro Manila went out of the buildings after feeling the shaking at 10:19 a.m. today. Their safety officers want to ensure the safety of the structures before allowing them to return to work. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, recorded the earthquake at magnitude 6.3 in Calatagan, Batangas. The maximum intensity felt was only up to 4 due to the depth of the focus being 119 meters deep. PHIVOLCS stated that the origin is tectonic, emanating from the Manila Trench.
Ito po ay tectonic in origin, so wala pong kinalaman yung lindol na ito sa pag-alboroto ng ating mga bulkan.
Operation of trains in Metro Manila temporarily stopped. PHIVOLCS is expecting aftershocks but with lower magnitude. The public is advised to take precautionary measures during an earthquake and participate in earthquake drills. Ray Pelayo, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
For our news abroad, the death toll from an overloaded refugee boat that capsized near Greece is rapidly climbing, and authorities fear many more are missing. Jane Robles details why live. Yes, good evening, Jane.
Good evening, William. At least 79 people have died after their vessel sank in the Ionian Sea, 87 kilometers southwest of the southern Peloponnese Peninsula, a spot close to one of the deepest areas of the Mediterranean. According to the Greek Coast Guard, as of Wednesday afternoon, 104 have been rescued, with some hospitalized for hypothermia. Makeshift migrant shelters have been set up at the port of Kalamata for those rescued so far as the search for survivors continues. The Italy-bound fishing vessel measuring 25 to 30 meters is believed to have originated in eastern Libya and was not equipped safety equipment such as life jackets. It is still unclear exactly how many passengers were on board, but it is estimated that there are about 700 to 750 asylum seekers, including Egyptians, Syrians, Pakistanis, Afghans, and Palestinians. Eleni Spasana, a lawyer working with the Greek NGO Refugee Support Aegean, said, "There were no words to describe the latest tragedy." Spasana highlights that the repeated sea disasters are a byproduct of the European Union's migration policies. Greece's caretaker Prime Minister Ioannis Sarmas has announced 3 days of national mourning for one of Europe's deadliest shipping disaster. Back to you, William.
Yes, thank you, Jane Robles, reporting live from Vietnam. New Zealand records a surge in immigrants, seeing more workers at a faster rate compared to Australia. Paul Gatchalian will give us the details why live. Yes, Paul, good evening. Go ahead.
Good evening, William. New Zealand, which is in need of workers to fill in shortages across the different working sectors, has eased restrictions for immigrants to fly over and work in the nation. A record high compared to the last highest gain of 64,755 in July 2020. The highest numbers were seen in March, which saw immigration rising to over 70,000 and hitting a net record of 98,391 by April 30 of this year. The nation's immigration minister Michael Wood reported that it was a positive sign as many work industries have been short of employees along with the rest of the world. The majority of the foreigners migrating to the country are reportedly from China, India, and the Philippines, who are either taking an occupation in construction, hospitality, transport, and agriculture industries. Meanwhile, as the country is seeing an increase in immigrants, there are a large number of people who are also departing from the nation, with a record of 26,061 citizens leaving the country. Back to you, William.
Yes, thank you, Paul Gatchalian, reporting live from New Zealand. The first batches of Russia's tactical nuclear weapons, claimed to be 3 times more powerful than those used in Japan during World War II, have successfully arrived in Belarus. Ruth Bahe will give us the details live. Good evening, Ruth.
Good evening, William. In a state broadcast, Belarus leader Alexander Lukashenko have confirmed that Russia's nuclear weapons have arrived in the country. Lukashenko said that the weapons have arrived sooner than expected after Russia said that preparations would last until early July. He mentioned that he personally asked Putin for the weapons to place a threat against aggressions towards Belarus. However, Lukashenko said that he would not want to use the weapons unless it is needed, and any decisions to use them will still be for Putin to make. Russia's tactical nuclear weapons are known to be 3 times stronger than the ones used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki and are slowly being transported to Belarus. Russia will remain in control of the weapons and are only being stationed in Belarus for protection. Belarus has been Russia's closest ally during the war, in which Russia used the Belarus-Ukraine border as strategic location for their invasion. Alexander Lukashenko also said that the country is developing facilities that would be able to cater nuclear-tipped intercontinental missiles, insisting that it is solely for protective measures. William?
Yes, thank you very much, Ruth Bahe, reporting live from Vietnam. The Philippine National Police is currently conducting an intensive manhunt operation against the suspect in an ambush in Barangay Poblacion, Sharif Aguac, Maguindanao del Sur, Wednesday night, June 14. In the said ambush, 2 policemen were killed while 4 others were wounded. PNP Chief Police General Benjamin Acorda Jr. condemned the attack and instructed the local police to conduct hot pursuit operations. General Acorda also assured that the PNP will extend all possible assistance to the families of the 2 slain cops and all the necessary help for the wounded personnel. Based on the report, the 6 cops were on board a marked police vehicle and were conducting routine patrol in Barangay Poblacion when an armed man started shooting at them. The PNP is still investigating to identify the suspects and the possible motive of the crime. And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God from the book of 1 John chapter 3, verse 4. It says, "Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law." And those are the reasons behind the news, June 15, 2023. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. And because we need to know, we will always ask why. I am William Theo. We serve the people. We give glory to God.